What if the secret to making her want you more is simply stepping back? It feels strange, right? We're often told that if we want something, we should fight for it, hold on to it tightly. But in relationships, sometimes the most powerful action you can take is no action at all. By giving her space, you aren't showing indifference. You're showing strength, patience, and self-assuredness, qualities that are deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy. Today, we'll unpack why stepping back is sometimes the best move you can make, and how embracing the Stoic mindset can transform your approach to relationships, making her come back to you willingly and naturally. Let's dive deep into this powerful strategy and see how silence can speak louder than words. Number 1. Why space is a gift, not a threat. Have you ever noticed how, when you pull back slightly, she starts leaning in more? There's a subtle yet powerful dynamic at play when you give her the space she needs. It's almost counterintuitive. You want her closer, but the answer lies in letting her breathe. This is where many men go wrong. They cling, they chase, they seek constant reassurance. But what if the real secret was to step back and let her come to you on her own terms? Imagine you're holding a butterfly. If you grasp it too tightly, you crush its delicate wings. But if you hold your hand open, giving it the freedom to flutter and explore, there's a good chance it will choose to stay. Relationships are not so different. When you give her space, you're allowing her the freedom to choose you again, rather than feeling trapped or pressured. It's a quiet kind of confidence that says, I don't need to hold on so tightly because I trust our bond. In moments of uncertainty, you might feel tempted to fill every gap with messages, calls, and gestures to show her you care. But what if you reframed this urge? Instead of seeing silence as a void, recognize it as an opportunity for her to reflect, miss you, and rediscover her feelings. This isn't about playing games. It's about understanding the natural rhythm of connection. Just like the tide, it's in the pullback that the wave gathers its strength to come crashing back to the shore. A core Stoic principle is to trust the natural flow of events and practice patience. Epictetus said, "Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do, and you will go well." Sometimes, this means embracing the discomfort of letting go and having faith that if it's meant to be, it will come back to you. It's the art of detachment, not from love, but from the outcome. Providing her with space isn't a sign of disinterest or weakness. It's a display of emotional maturity. It says, I respect you enough to give you room to breathe, to think, and to decide what you want. It's easy to mistake giving space as pulling away or losing her interest, but it's actually one of the most respectful and loving things you can do. It's saying, I trust your autonomy and our connection. Would you rather be the man she feels obligated to respond to out of politeness, or the man she eagerly reaches out to because she genuinely misses the presence you once filled? By giving her the gift of space, you create the fertile ground for her feelings to grow without the suffocation of constant attention. It allows her to process, to reflect on the moments you've shared, and to feel the void your absence creates. And it's in this void that desire and longing begin to form. In today's world of instant messaging and constant connectivity, silence can feel uncomfortable, even unbearable. But remember, it's often in the silence that she can truly hear her own heart. Give her that time. Give her that gift. Letting her breathe is not about indifference. It's about trust. Trust in the strength of what you've built together, and trust in yourself. It's a quiet confidence that many overlook, a confidence rooted in knowing your own value and understanding that true connection doesn't require constant proof. So next time you're tempted to close the distance, pause and ask yourself, am I acting out of fear or faith? Because when you lead with faith, you'll find that she's more likely to come back. Not because she needs to, but because she wants to. Number 2, the silent invitation. Imagine you're sitting in a quiet room. You can hear every sound, every subtle shift. When the room is filled with noise, however, it's easy to miss the small, meaningful moments. In relationships, it's the same. Constant interaction and endless words can drown out what truly matters. But when you take a step back, when you embrace a bit of silence, you're creating space for something deeper to unfold. This is the silent invitation, a powerful message sent without uttering a single word. Think about the last time you pulled back just a little. Maybe you didn't reply right away, or you chose to focus on your own activities instead of filling every moment with her. What happened? More often than not, she started to notice your absence. She began to wonder what you were up to, who you were with, and why you weren't as readily available. This isn't about playing games. It's about allowing her the opportunity to miss you. You're giving her the gift of reflection, the chance to think about you in a way that goes beyond the surface level of constant interaction. When you give a woman space, you're doing something subtle yet profound. You're saying, without words, I don't need you to be here all the time to feel secure. This quiet confidence is magnetic. It draws her in because it signals that you have your own life, your own pursuits, and you're not desperate for her attention. This kind of self-assurance is rare and highly attractive because it communicates that you value her but don't need to be validated by her constant presence. In Stoicism, the most powerful messages are often conveyed through silence and restraint. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that our actions, not our words, define our character. He said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." In this context, pulling back is an act of patience and trust. It's a demonstration of your ability to be still, to let things unfold naturally, and to communicate your value without words. Distance doesn't have to mean disinterest. It's an opportunity for her to miss you, to remember why she was drawn to you in the first place. It gives her the chance to feel the absence of your presence and realize the value of what you bring to her life. It's a reminder that she isn't entitled to your time, but must choose it. And that choice makes it all the more meaningful. There's a lesson here that Stoicism teaches us well. Not every reaction requires a response. Not every feeling needs to be immediately expressed. Sometimes the most powerful move is to do nothing at all. The Stoics believed in measured actions and the value of patience. They understood that there's strength in restraint, in letting things breathe. It's the art of holding back, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. So when you find yourself tempted to bridge the silence, to fill the gap with words or actions, remember this: true desire grows in the space between moments. It's in those quiet pauses that feelings deepen, that curiosity and longing take root. By stepping back, you're not stepping away. You're allowing her the time to step towards you. As you reflect on the idea of the silent invitation, take a moment to consider how this approach can change the dynamic in your own relationships. Silence, when used wisely, can be a powerful tool that speaks volumes without a single word. It's about creating a space where genuine connection and deeper feelings can develop naturally. So, I invite you to think back. When was the last time you embraced a moment of silence instead of rushing to fill it? What happened next? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your experiences or drop a comment below with this simple sentence. In silence, I found clarity. Your insights could help someone else on their own journey of self-reflection and growth. Number 3, the power of non-interference. Picture this. You're standing by a still pond, watching as the water ripples from a small stone tossed in. The ripples need time to fade before the surface can become smooth again. Relationships work in much the same way. When emotions are high or there's tension in the air, sometimes the best thing you can do is nothing. Instead of rushing in to fix, soothe, or control the situation, what if you embraced a different approach? What if you let things settle naturally, trusting in the power of patience? This is the art of non-interference, a skill many overlook, but one that's vital in fostering a deeper, more resilient connection. When you choose not to interfere, when you step back and focus on your own life, you're communicating a powerful message. I trust you to handle your emotions, and I trust myself to handle mine. It's a quiet confidence that resonates deeply, allowing both of you the space to breathe and process without the weight of pressure or expectations. Instead of bombarding her with questions or trying to solve every problem immediately, you shift your focus to your own passions. Whether it's working out, learning a new skill, or simply enjoying a hobby that fulfills you. This isn't avoidance, it's a deliberate choice to practice restraint. It's saying, I care about us, but I don't need to force anything. I trust that what's meant for us will come naturally. And in this space of non-interference, something remarkable happens. She begins to notice the absence of your usual responses. She senses the shift in energy. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, she feels relieved, free to think and feel without pressure. And in that freedom, appreciation grows. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of accepting the flow of life and not meddling with every twist and turn. He believed that the universe unfolds as it should, and our role is not to resist, but to align ourselves with this natural order. When you practice non-interference, you're embodying this wisdom. You're trusting that if the connection is real, it doesn't need constant validation or interference to survive. So the next time you feel that urge to step in, to manage her feelings or fix the problem right away, pause. Take a deep breath and remember the power of restraint. Sometimes, the most loving thing you can do is to give her the gift of space, the freedom to feel, think, and come back to you on her own terms. In doing so, you're not just showing maturity. You're creating a space where true appreciation can flourish. You're giving her the chance to reflect on your presence in her life and the calm, steady support you offer. This is the resonance found in restraint, a deeper connection that isn't built on pressure, but on the quiet strength of patience. Number 4, allowing mystery to rekindle interest. Have you ever noticed how the allure of a book lies not just in what it reveals, but in what it leaves for you to discover? In relationships, a similar dynamic exists. When everything becomes predictable, when you're always available, always responding, always there, the excitement begins to fade. Familiarity breeds comfort, but it can also dull the edges of desire. So how do you bring back that spark? The answer lies in the art of mystery. If she already knows your every move, if she can anticipate your next text or your predictable routine, where's the thrill? Where's the element of surprise? It's human nature to be drawn to what we don't fully understand. By allowing a touch of mystery to enter the relationship, you're reawakening her curiosity. It's not about playing games or being evasive. It's about being confident enough to create space for the unknown, to let her wonder about you again. The power of distance lies in its ability to rekindle attraction. When you're not immediately accessible, she has a chance to think about you, to wonder what you're up to, and to remember why she was drawn to you in the first place. It's in these moments of uncertainty that desire is reignited. She starts to picture you out in the world, living your life with purpose and confidence, and that image becomes magnetic. It brings back the excitement she felt when she was first getting to know you, the thrill of discovery. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reflected on the importance of allowing things to unfold naturally. He wrote, "Observe always that everything is the result of change, and get used to thinking that there is nothing nature loves so well as to change existing forms and to make new ones like them." The Stoic approach to relationships is similar. By stepping back and embracing a bit of mystery, you're allowing the natural ebb and flow of attraction to breathe. Maybe she's used to you responding to her messages within seconds. It's a pattern she can rely on, and while that might feel comforting, it can also become monotonous. Instead, the next time she reaches out, don't rush to reply. Take your time, focus on what you're doing, and respond when it feels right for you. This pause isn't about neglect. It's about creating a sense of anticipation. It's about showing her that while you value her, you also value your own time and interests. This subtle shift in your behavior creates a powerful effect. Suddenly, she's not sure what you're doing, and her mind starts to wander. She begins to miss your presence, to think about you more often, and to wonder what's going on in your world. This space is where desire is born. It's the difference between reading a predictable story and one that keeps you on the edge of your seat, eagerly turning the page to see what happens next. So the next time you're tempted to over-explain, to share every detail, or to be constantly available, take a step back. Trust in the power of your own mystery. Allow her the room to wonder, to miss you, and to feel that familiar pull of attraction. Because it's not just the known that keeps a relationship vibrant, it's the unknown that makes it unforgettable. If this idea resonates with you, give this video a like. It really helps us reach others who might benefit from these insights. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you noticed how a bit of mystery can change the dynamic in your relationship? Drop a comment below and share your story. Or simply type, "Mystery creates desire," if you agree. Now, let's keep watching. Number 5. Using space to cultivate your growth. When you give her space, what are you really doing? You're not sitting around, counting the hours until she texts back. You're using that time wisely. You're investing in yourself, channeling your energy into growth and self-improvement. This is the self-focus advantage, a powerful shift that not only enhances your own life, but also makes you even more attractive in her eyes. The truth is, there's nothing more magnetic than a person who knows their worth and is actively working on becoming the best version of themselves. For example, you've decided to give her some breathing room, but instead of anxiously waiting for her call, you choose to dive into your passions. Maybe you're hitting the gym, pushing your physical limits, and feeling stronger every day. Or perhaps you're learning a new skill, something you've always wanted to master. It could be anything from cooking a gourmet meal to picking up a musical instrument. Every hour you spend focused on your own growth is an investment, not just in yourself, but in the relationship as well. Because when she sees you thriving independently, it's a powerful reminder of the person she fell for in the first place. It's about shifting the narrative. Instead of seeing this time apart as a void, see it as an opportunity. The space you're giving her isn't just for her benefit. It's for yours, too. You're building a life so full and vibrant that when she thinks of you, she sees someone who is constantly evolving. This kind of confidence and self-assuredness is irresistible. It's the difference between being a man who waits and a man who creates. The Stoics believed in the power of self-mastery above all else. As Seneca wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This philosophy is about knowing who you are and consistently striving to align your actions with your highest self. By focusing on your own growth, you're not only honoring this Stoic wisdom, but you're also cultivating an inner strength that naturally draws others to you. Over time, she starts to notice. She sees the changes in you, how you look, how you carry yourself, the confidence in your voice when you talk about your latest project or achievement. It's a subtle but profound shift. Instead of being the man who's waiting for her validation, you've become the man who's thriving, who's living a life so fulfilling that she wants to be a part of it again. If you're building a fire, you don't constantly blow on the flames. You let it breathe, you add fuel gradually, and you allow it to grow naturally. In relationships, your self-improvement is that fuel. It's the spark that keeps the flame of attraction burning bright. By dedicating time to yourself, you're not just filling the space, you're enriching it. You're making sure that when she thinks of you, she's reminded of someone who is driven, who is constantly evolving, and who never settles for less. Dive into your passions, take care of your health, learn something new. Let this be a season of growth for you. Because when you focus on becoming your best self, you're not only enhancing your own life, you're making it clear that you're a man worth missing. This is the self-focus advantage, the realization that giving her space isn't just about her. It's about you too. It's about knowing your worth, cultivating your own strengths, and becoming the kind of person who doesn't need to chase, because he's already running towards his own greatness. And trust me, there's nothing more attractive than that. Number 6. Boundaries as attraction. Here's the truth. Boundaries are not walls meant to keep you apart. They're bridges designed to foster a deeper level of trust and respect. When she asks for space, it's not always a sign that she's losing interest. Often, it's her way of recalibrating her own feelings. And when you honor that request without pushing back, you're demonstrating that you value her needs just as much as your own desires. This kind of respect is magnetic because it shows that you're confident enough to give her the room she needs to process and come back on her own terms. Picture this. You've been spending a lot of time together, and suddenly she seems distant. Maybe she asks for a little time alone, or perhaps she's not as responsive as she used to be. Instead of bombarding her with questions or demanding an explanation, you choose a different path. You give her the space she's asking for without making her feel guilty about it. You use this time to focus on your own life, to engage in activities that fulfill you, and you show her that you trust the connection you share. When you do this, something shifts. Instead of feeling pressured or overwhelmed, she feels respected. She notices that you didn't try to overstep her boundaries or invade her space. She starts to appreciate your maturity, and that appreciation transforms into attraction. Because you've shown her that you're not just another person who needs constant reassurance. You're someone who understands the value of patience and the importance of healthy boundaries. The Stoics believed in the importance of self-governance and respect for others' autonomy. Seneca wrote, "It is the power of a great mind to be unconquerable in the face of adversity." This doesn't just apply to life's challenges, it applies to relationships too. When you respect her need for space, you're practicing a form of self-control and demonstrating your own inner strength. You're showing that you can withstand the discomfort of distance because you trust in the bond you've built. When you honor her boundaries, you're showing her that you don't just value the relationship, you value her as an individual. You're saying, "I see you, I respect your needs, and I'm secure enough to give you the space you require." This kind of behavior is rare, and it's exactly what sets you apart. Most people react to distance with fear, trying to pull the other person closer out of insecurity. But when you do the opposite, when you respond with calm and patience, you become a safe space for her, someone she can trust implicitly. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of respecting the natural course of events. He advised, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." This philosophy is a reminder that we cannot control everything, especially the feelings of others. What we can control is how we respond, with patience, respect, and a willingness to allow things to unfold as they should. When you respect her space, you're embodying this Stoic mindset. You're letting go of the need to control and instead embracing a deeper, more authentic form of love. This is the secret of boundaries as attraction. It's about understanding that love isn't about constant closeness. It's about respecting each other's space, trusting in the connection, and allowing time and distance to strengthen the bond rather than weaken it. When you honor her need for space, you're saying, "I respect you, I trust us, and I'm confident enough to let things breathe." And that, in itself, is a powerful form of attraction. If you've made it this far, it's clear that you resonate with the idea of boundaries as a powerful tool for attraction and connection. But now, let's take it a step further. This isn't just theory, it's real-life experience. Have you ever been in a situation where giving space transformed the dynamic of your relationship? Or maybe you struggled with respecting those boundaries at first. I'd love to hear your stories and insights in the comments below. Your experiences could be the guidance someone else needs, and together we can learn from each other's journey. So, share your thoughts. Let's keep this conversation going. Number 7. The return of desire. They say absence makes the heart grow fonder, but why is that? It's because, in the quiet moments apart, something profound happens. Desire begins to resurface. It's not forced or fabricated. It's a natural response to missing what you once took for granted. When you step back and allow space between you, it's as if you've hit the reset button, creating the perfect environment for feelings to bubble up and intensify. This is the magic of distance. It has the power to revive emotions that might have faded in the routine of constant closeness. The Stoics believed that true desire and fulfillment arise naturally, without force or manipulation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Everything that happens as it should, and if you observe carefully, you will find this to be so." This idea is key in relationships as well. You can't manufacture desire, it has to grow on its own. By embracing absence, you're practicing a Stoic principle of allowing things to unfold as they're meant to, trusting that genuine feelings will resurface in their own time. The power of absence is rooted in the element of mystery and longing. It allows both of you to reflect, to feel the gap left by each other's presence. When you're apart, she has the chance to process her emotions without the noise of constant communication. She can sort through her feelings, remembering the times you made her feel special, the moments that brought you closer. And when she finally reaches out, it's not out of routine or obligation. It's because she truly wants to reconnect. Think about it like a powerful tide. When the ocean pulls back, it's only gathering strength to crash back onto the shore. The space you create by stepping back isn't a sign of disinterest. It's the pullback before the wave of renewed desire. It's allowing her to feel the weight of your absence so that when she returns, it's with a deeper appreciation for what you bring to her life. Perhaps she's been distant or unsure of her feelings, and instead of trying to convince her of your worth or pressuring her to talk, you decide to give her room. You focus on your own growth, your own passions, and you let her experience life without you for a while. Over time, she starts to realize what she's missing. It's in the quiet mornings when she used to text you first thing, or the evenings when she'd share a laugh with you before bed. It's in these moments of absence that desire builds. When she reaches out again, it's not because she feels she has to, it's because she wants to. And when that moment comes, when she reaches out or you both decide to reconnect, the emotions feel new, fresh, and more intense than before. The time apart has given her a chance to remember why she felt drawn to you initially. The reconnection isn't just a return to the familiar, it's a revival of everything that made the relationship special in the first place. This is the beauty of giving her space. You're allowing desire to return on its own. You're not forcing it or chasing it. You're simply stepping back and letting her realize what she has. It's a powerful reminder that love and attraction are strongest when they're allowed to breathe. So the next time you feel the urge to bridge the distance, remember this chapter. Trust in the process. Trust in the natural rhythm of desire. Because when you embrace absence as a tool, you're setting the stage for a sweeter, more genuine reconnection. And that's what makes the return of desire so unforgettable. It's real, unforced, and a testament to the strength of what you've built together. Number 8. Offering stability without overstepping. There's a delicate art to giving space without fading away completely. It's about striking the right balance between respecting her need for distance and still being a steady, reliable presence in her life. This is where silent assurance comes in, a kind of quiet, unspoken support that lets her know you're there without overwhelming her. It's the difference between being absent and being thoughtfully present, even if you're not constantly communicating. And this, in itself, can be one of the most reassuring gestures you can offer. Imagine the calm strength of a lighthouse. It doesn't chase the ships it guides. It doesn't need to. It stands firm, shining its light as a point of reference, a symbol of safety and stability, especially in stormy weather. When you give her space, think of yourself like that lighthouse. You're not disappearing from her life, but you're also not crowding her. You're simply being there, calm, steady, and consistent. A quiet reminder that you're someone she can rely on, even from afar. Let's say she's going through a stressful time at work or dealing with personal issues. She may pull back a bit, needing time to process everything on her own. Instead of bombarding her with questions or trying to force your way in, you offer silent assurance. You might send a simple message. I'm here if you need me. Take all the time you need. And then you let her have that space. You're not disappearing, but you're also not pushing for her attention. You're showing her that you respect her autonomy and that your support doesn't come with strings attached. There's a subtle but profound strength in this kind of stability. It says, I trust you, and I trust the connection we share. It's a gesture of confidence, one that reassures her without crowding her. When she's ready to talk, she'll know you're there. Not because you've been hovering, but because you've been steady all along. This kind of quiet support can be incredibly comforting, especially in a world where everyone seems to be vying for her attention. The Stoics believed in the power of calm, unwavering presence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be like the cliff against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it." This principle is about being stable and grounded, not easily swayed by external circumstances. In relationships, this translates to offering silent assurance, a form of strength that doesn't need to be loud or forceful to be felt. Think of it like the roots of a strong tree. The branches may sway with the wind, but the roots remain firmly planted in the ground. When you offer this kind of silent assurance, you're like those roots, providing a foundation of stability that she can rely on, even if she's feeling uncertain or overwhelmed. This kind of support is subtle, but its impact is lasting. It creates a safe space for her to return to, knowing that you're someone she can lean on without feeling smothered. The Stoics knew that true strength is often silent. It doesn't need to shout or demand attention. It simply is. By embodying this silent assurance, you're practicing a form of Stoic resilience. You're showing her that you can weather the distance without losing your sense of self, and that your support is steady and unwavering. This is the essence of silent assurance. It's the calm, steady presence that doesn't need words to be felt. It's the quiet confidence that says, "I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere." And when she feels this kind of stability from you, it creates a sense of safety that's rare and precious. It's the kind of reassurance that deepens the bond, making the relationship stronger and more resilient with each passing day. Number 9. Balancing connection and independence. If you've ever walked a tightrope, you know that balance is everything. Lean too far in one direction, and you risk falling. Relationships are much the same. The art of giving space isn't about going to extremes. It's about striking a delicate balance, knowing when to step back and when to lean in. This middle ground is where real connection. Let's say you've noticed she's been quieter than usual. You might be tempted to check in constantly, seeking reassurance that everything is okay. But instead of overwhelming her with attention, you choose to give her a bit of space. You don't disappear entirely. You might send a light, thoughtful message like, "Hey, I hope you're having a good day. Just thinking of you." This small gesture shows you care, but it doesn't demand her immediate response. It's a way of leaning in just enough to remind her you're there, without crowding her. On the flip side, there may be times when she reaches out after a period of distance. When this happens, it's your cue to lean in, to be fully present and engaged in the moment. The key is flexibility, being in tune with her needs, while also honoring your own. It's about recognizing that relationships are not static. They ebb and flow, and your role is to navigate these shifts with grace and awareness. Think of your relationship like a garden. If you water it too much, the roots will rot. If you neglect it, the plants will wither. It needs just the right amount of care, attention balanced with time to grow on its own. When you give her space, you're like a gardener who knows when to step back and let the sun do its work. You're not abandoning the garden. You're simply giving it what it needs to flourish naturally. There's a beautiful interplay between closeness and autonomy in a healthy relationship. Giving her space doesn't mean shutting her out or becoming cold. It's about creating a dynamic where both of you feel free to express your individuality while still nurturing the bond you share. It's the confidence to let her go, knowing she'll come back willingly, not because she feels pressured, but because she chooses to. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the importance of moderation in all things. He wrote, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe." In relationships, this translates to living in harmony with the natural flow of connection. When you push too hard, you disrupt the balance. When you withdraw too far, you create distance that can be hard to bridge. The Stoic way is about finding the balance, being present without being overbearing, giving space without being absent. When you master the art of balancing connection and independence, you become someone she feels safe with, someone she knows won't smother her, but who will also be there when she needs support. You're showing her that you understand the rhythm of a healthy relationship, that you respect her needs as well as your own. This kind of partnership is rare and deeply fulfilling because it's built on mutual respect, trust, and a shared understanding of each other's boundaries. There you have it. Sometimes the most powerful action in a relationship is to simply step back and let things breathe. By giving her space, you're not distancing yourself. You're showing quiet confidence, self-assuredness, and trust in the connection you've built. It's about embodying the Stoic mindset, letting go of the urge to control every outcome, and embracing the natural flow of desire and attraction. If this message resonated with you, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and drop a comment below sharing your thoughts. What part of this approach do you find the most insightful? I'd love to hear your perspective. And before you go, don't miss the recommended videos on your screen right now. They dive deeper into relationship strategies and the powerful impact of Stoicism. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.